evening, and welcome everybody to a very special event announcement stream. We are very excited to present this to you. I am Double Down. With me is the one, the only, the legend, Drinks Glue. Drinks Glue, how are you doing tonight?
You know what? I am doing fantastic, and I can't tell you, words cannot express how excited I am to share what we have for everybody tonight. There's been a lot of clamoring for this. There's been a lot of asking for this. And I think there's a real need in our community to kind of have something like this, and you'll see here in just a moment what we're about to announce and share with you all.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think there's been a lot of people who've been asking about something like this. I think there's been a lot of whispers about it. So I think, without further ado, I mean, Drinks, do you want to do the honors, or should I?
I'd love nothing more. I think there's a stream delay, but I like to time the announcement as Saberwolf pulls up the event document, but it will probably be way off. So nevertheless, let's try it. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you Worlds Collide newest
Gross
event.
League. Oh,
Oh, sorry.
Moogle Cup.
Moogle Cup, the Moogle Cup. Worlds Collide presents the Moogle Cup. So, what is the Moogle Cup, you ask by chance? That's a fantastic question. This is where we we gather up some new players, some growing players, some aspiring players, and we pair them up with mentors to help them grow, to help them learn while they compete against each other. So it's an environment where we can foster growth, but also a place where growing members can play against each other. So they're not getting smashed by your players of the world, like your Gar or your Fitz yet. You don't have to compete against the big leagues yet. That will be in your future. But for now, we can help you learn the ropes. We can get you going. You can make some fantastic friends along the way, and maybe earn a little bit of Moogle Cup glory.
Yeah, it's a mini tournament. It's an ongoing
Mhm.
series. You know, this isn't quite as big or prestigious or glamorous or involved as Warring Triads, Coliseum, Battle Royale, the next big thing, even silly old Ultras League. But it's something that we're going to be running periodically whenever we've got enough people, and really give a taste for competitive racing, to learn what sync racing is like, what async racing is like, and to get coddled or helped by some of our finest racers in the community. So really good opportunity to get your feet wet and explore the fun, exciting world of Worlds Collide Racing.
Yeah, and the caliber of player we're looking for the Moogle Cup. You got to do a little bit of self reflection here. Kind of in the range. Are you in the tonic division in Ultras League, or is that about the type of players that you consistently post your time as? Have you been promoted out of tonic league? You may be on the cusp of being overqualified for the World Cup, but that is the general skill range this is intended for. So some self reflection. Take a moment, think about where you're at. How you want to grow, and if those you fall into that bracket, then we'd love to have you. And even if you're on that fence and you're not sure about if you are, apply anyways, and then we can review over you. We can talk to you a little bit and just see if you're a good fit and go over some things. But nevertheless, that is the skill level of player we're looking for with the Moogle Cup, and it is intended for.
Exactly. And on the other side of the scale too, we are looking for mentors as well. So if you're somebody who's been around the block a few times in the game, not in any sort of other context, but you've been playing for a while, you've really got a good handle on things, and you've got some knowledge and insight to share with your fellow players, this is your opportunity to sort of pay it forward. So not only is it something where if you're a mentor, you can sort of help and have that feel good feeling, but it's a really good opportunity as well to even make yourself a little better as well. So it's kind of like the rubber ducky theory, right? If you can explain it to a
Hmm.
rubber ducky, you truly do understand it. So it gives you that opportunity to really have that review and maybe question some things about your own game. But again, if you're somebody who's maybe been hanging out in the Elixir or Mega Elixir, or you've been holding your own in a lot of these events that we've been having, and you're getting the sub 90s all the time on the Ultra League seeds, things like that, you might be interested in signing up as a mentor. So there's needs on both ends.
Hmm. And after this announcement, or after this show, we will have the official event rules in which you can see the live breakdown of the format. But basically, we're looking for 16 participants. Once we get to 16 participants, we'll reach out and confirm availability, and we'll kick off. We will have 3 weeks of round robin sync racing. What do we mean by that? Well, basically, you'll be placed into a bracket of 4 people, and your goal is to sync race each one of those 4 people, or excuse me, those 3 people, because 3 plus 1, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 4. So you'll have 3 sync races. Thank you. 3 sync races, but you have 3 weeks to knock those out. you can knock those out at your own leisure. You can do all three in the first week. You can do one week one week two, week one, week three. It's a large enough time frame so that you're not pressured, you're not forcing, you're not trying to squeeze it into. You can maybe do some mentor sessions, do some practice sessions before you do your actual race, and your partner or your opponent can vice versa. But once we get through the sync racing portion of the Moogle Cup Double Down, what happens then?
Well, what happens then is after the sync portion, we move on to an async portion. So 3 weeks of battle royale. So basically, the top two people from each of those groups, that'll be 8 people total, will advance to a battle royale. And how the battle royale works is that all 8 of those players will be in one large async race. So they're all going to be racing the same seed that week. And at the end of that first week, the bottom 4 are going to get eliminated. The top 4 will move on. Then the next week, those 4 will compete again on one seed, async. So again, played over the course of the week. However it fits into your schedule, that's fine. The top 2 racers from that week will advance, and then at the end, there's just 2 people left. So one last race to determine who's going to win the first or subsequent Moogle Cup.
Mm-hmm. And then once we have the first Moogle Cup underway, there is no exact time frame for when the second one could possibly kick off. It's going to revolve around when we have enough volunteers. And there may be some players that go through one World Cup. They learn a little bit. Maybe they don't learn as much as they're expecting to, or they're not quite where they thought they wanted to be at. That's no problem. Go ahead and sign up for the next one because it's just going to be a revolving door of 16-player tournaments. Once we get the 16 players and enough mentors on, and we will kick off another one. So this is kind of the training camp that will be ongoing. It will be a continuous event. It will be a living part of our community, a new way to funnel new players into learning the game.
Exactly. It's really to build that comfort level. We always have some players who are not too sure. They're a little apprehensive about jumping into Ultros League, which I mean, Ultros League is a great beginner's environment as well. But maybe they're concerned that they're not quite ready yet, or maybe they see some of this racing, they just don't even know where to start. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Worlds Collide, it can be a lot. There's a lot to figure out. There's a lot of bosses, a lot of characters. The whole check system can take a little bit. So having somebody there who's been through it, and I mean, all of our mentors were Moogles once. So having somebody there to help you through and to really get that comfort level with the racing environment can get you up to speed and get you moving up those Ultras League ranks or moving into the higher parts of the other events that much sooner.
And again, it's a fantastic way. Some of my best friends in the community were born from being in my tonic division and then my potion division and then hopefully one day in my elixir division now. But nevertheless, it's another opportunity to foster growth, foster community growth, allow players to interact with each other and not just interact, but grow, learn the game together. Because there's not just, the Final Fantasy 6 aspect. Some people join our Discord and it's their first time ever joining the Discord and then much less using the race spot and being familiar with some of the other events. So it's a lot to learn. And the Moogle Cup is trying to get you on that path for all of the other aspects of the events that you might encounter outside of the actual Final Fantasy 6 game. So it's just to help new players overall in every aspect of our community.
Now, another thing that we've tried to design in the Moogle Cup to make it a little more user friendly is this an adjusted flag set. So we're not going
Mm-hmm.
to be doing just your standard Ultras League flags, but what we've got is a special flag set for Moogle Cup, which if you've played previous beginner seeds like the Moogle's first seed or the flag set from Moogle's first tournament, this will be a little bit familiar. But basically, what we've done is we've taken the Ultras League flags and made them a little bit more approachable, a little more forgiving, and we've added a couple more fun things to really get players to engage with a lot of the parts of the randomizer they might not normally do. So you're going to see the requirements here pretty similar to Ultras League. 6 characters, 9 espers. There's a skip, which a slightly adjusted version of the Ultras League skip where you need
Mm-hmm.
to find any 2 of 9 characters, 12 espers, and 22 checks. So not just one. We do want to encourage the Moogles to have to engage a little bit more and maybe get that skip a little less often so that they can learn the joys of wandering through Kefka's Tower and going in the wrong
Yep.
door and messing with the wrong party. And then we've got some bonus objectives too. So of course, completing the dream to get some sword text, completing the factory to get some magic upgrades,
Mm-hmm.
and then a few fun ones. We're teaching them that suplexing a train, that's mandatory. If you do that, you're gonna
Yep.
get a high tier relic. If you sing in the opera, there's a high tier weapon in it, and if you save or kill Sid, there's a high tier armor. Now, of course, there's a lot of other details. Do you want to talk about some of the other things that are new and interesting about this flag set?
Yeah, a couple other changes. We do have some boost to the character stats. In Ultras League, it's typically 80 to 125%. So you could roll as an Edgar with lower strength than what he has in the vanilla game. But in the Moogle Cup, we don't want to really put you at a disadvantage to start. We want you to get you going. So you get 100 to 125% of a character's vanilla stats. They're a little bit of a XP boost, 2.5. 2 across the board for everything else is what you'll see in Ultras League, but 2.5 for your experience. and GP rewards from encounters. MP costs a little down. Chests are a little more jacked up with the 35% random rate. Generally, the higher the random percentage, the more juicy the loot can be in a chest. So Ultra Sweet 20%, Moogle Cup 35%. Reduced prices of some of the op shop items, a little less strenuous, a little more recession friendly shops. And then obviously all Coliseum rewards are visible. That is huge. That gives you an opportunity to go out there, find the best items in the game, and learn how to use them. So when you run across them in your competitive seeds, you're familiar with how to work through the game and get a good time.
Yeah, it won't
And
be.
then
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
and then last but not least, the dead check reward, as you can see on your screen, it's the best of the best. It's the Flame Shield, Ice Shield, Thunder Shield, Experience Egg, Offering, Genji Glove, and then the top top 5 weapons in the game, along with Minerva, Ragnarok, Illuma, Valiant Knife, Vix Dice, and Atma Weapon. The best of the best.
Gonna get strong. Gonna do some damage. It's gonna be
Yep.
a lot of fun. You're gonna learn to love the dead check. Now, you might be looking at this and thinking, "This looks like fun. I'd like to
Yeah.
give this a try." Drinks Glue. There's got to be a way to try this out, right?
Yeah. Right now, it's the preset for Moogle Cup is already live on the Seedbot. If you want to give it a try, preset Moogle Cup with the space. The preset will be going live on the website soonish. Maybe you have to preset some cookies and clear your browser history, but it will be there eventually. And then last but not least, if you're one of these new flags showcased, well, we got a special treat for you. We have 2 confirmed mentors from the Moogle Cup. We have Gar himself and one free Fitz, who are going to do a special sync race of the Moogle Cup flags. After me and Double Down are done talking, showing stuff off, and give you a little preview of what to expect in the Moogle Cup.
Yeah, going to be a great preview. A good example of some of the mentors that you'll be working with and some of
Mm-hmm.
the high level play and also just some of the personalities. We'll talk to them a little bit after they finish this race, but you'll get a real taste of the kind of experience you're going to get from your mentors, the kind of dialogue and some of the great insights. You're going to see some really good racing tonight.
Oh yeah, 2 top mentors, 2 of the top players in communities, regardless, and 2 of the top guys. To be honest with you, we're super excited to have them. We're super excited for them to show this off, and then yeah. So that's all I have to say. Double Down. Do you have anything else you wanna
No,
mention?
just really excited. We've been getting a
Yeah.
lot of talk for a long time of people wanting another Moogle's first tournament. So this is the answer to that. The Moogle Cup is as long as there's interested people, as long as we've got mentors and Moogles, then this thing can keep on running. So we'll always have an ability to help new players get engaged, get into the community,
Mhm.
and get racing. Lowering that barrier of entry a little bit. And yeah, excited to see our first batch of Moogles tear it up. The expectations are high. We've had some
Yeah.
great performances. I think a former Moogle might even be on this race coming up shortly. So
Yeah.
it's the beginning of greatness right here.
Yes, indeed. And that the passive hint he Double Down was alluding to is Gar himself, who I believe won the first Moogle's first tournament a while ago.
Yeah, that was a little while ago, but the legacy lives on, and
Hmm.
I think we'll be probably expecting a lot of great things from our future Moogle Cup winners. So, once those signups are open, sign up if you're interested. And again, if you're not sure if you're Moogle material or mentor material for that matter, feel free to reach out. Drinks Glue,
Yeah.
myself, we can chat about it. We're always happy to figure it out. But really looking for people who just want to come in, learn, have a good time. So if your hope is to just go crush some Moogles and get the cup, maybe don't sign up. If
Yeah.
that's you're just looking to beat up on some of the new players, maybe this one's not for you. Ultra League is a great option for you.
Hmm.
But if you're just really newer, looking to learn, you're still wiping on Kefka all the time. You're still getting that 150, 145, and you can't break through. You're forgetting whose checks are whose. This is the
Hmm.
perfect cup for you. We will get you there.
Absolutely.
Don't you worry.
Yeah. And then without much further ado, we're going to sign off for just a few minutes and get the sync race happening right after this again between Fitz and Gakar. They're going to show off the Moogle Cup flags for us, and then afterwards we'll get some insight about what they think of the flags, plus what they'll provide to the mentor program as confirmed mentors. So stick around, ladies and gentlemen.